Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to a new what I eat in a day. Firstly, thank you so much for all of your lovely comments on my last video. I'm so grateful. So I started this day by pulling up some carrots from the garden. We've had so many this year and still have quite a few left. And honestly, carrots taste 10 times better when they're homegrown. I gave them a good rinse and then a bit of a soak in the kitchen sink to get them really clean. Also, being homegrown means your fruit and veg can come in all shapes and sizes. We always see perfectly shaped produce in the shops, but wonky veg is still good veg and it's completely normal. Okay, maybe this particular carrot was trolling me. I trimmed off the carrot tops. Obviously, you can eat these. They're great for pestos and salads. But I think the rabbits love eating them more than I do, so I gave them those for breakfast as well as some fresh parsley. I'd used all of this up and then within the space of a week it had fully grown back again, which was great to see. It's been such a wet summer in Ireland and I think it has helped with some things, but other things not so much. Then for my breakfast I had a yogurt bowl with soaked super seeds. We still also have lots of strawberries. This day though I ended up only getting little ones, but there are still much bigger ones which will hopefully ripen in time. I used the Alpro Greek style protein yogurt. It's my favourite vegan protein yogurt. And then for my soaked super seeds, this was just chia, flax, hemp and oats. Sometimes I add in pumpkin and sunflower seeds too, all just soaked overnight in the Alpro plant protein milk with some agave and some vanilla. So I just had a couple of spoonfuls of that with the yogurt, some smooth almond butter on the side as well, and then my little strawberries. Really tasty, quick and easy, and anything prepped in the fridge like the soaked super seeds makes for such a time saver in the mornings. I was getting ready to go to the gym when we had a guest arrive at the door. She gets so excited when she sees this particular friend, so I left those guys to it and went off to my spin class. I do this every Friday and I love it. It's so much fun being part of a group class at the end of a week, and after 3 weeks off I knew this one was going to be particularly hard. Came home to yet a different cat waiting at my front door, but I'm not complaining. I can't think of a better way to be greeted home, to be honest. Then for lunch I was craving a BLT, so that's what I made. I actually started off by making my juice. I washed some other carrots that I had in the fridge and just trimmed off the ends. Also had a couple of apples that I just removed the cores from. I usually always use lemon in my juices, but I decided to go for lime for a bit of a change, so I cut the peel off a lime and peeled 2 pieces of ginger as well. It's gonna seem like a waste of those homegrown carrots going through the juicer, but like I said, we've already used so many and there's still more in the veg bed. I've loved cooking them in all kinds of dishes, but the smell and flavour that comes from these is simply unmatched, and so I love juicing them into a drink as well. Just look at that vibrant orange colour. I took half an extra large block of firm tofu and cut it up really thinly so it looked like these deli-style slices almost. And then for the marinade I just added a little oil to a bowl with some tomato puree, then coconut aminos, vegan Worcestershire sauce, a little agave, some smoked paprika and a little ground black pepper, and then mixed that all up together. I then just coated each slice of tofu in the marinade. If you leave them to sit in this, the longer the better, but I wanted a quick and easy lunch. I then just laid them out on a baking tray and placed those in the oven to cook for around 20 minutes. Meanwhile, I made an avocado spread as an alternative to a vegan mayonnaise for this. I just added a whole avocado to a food processor along with organic lemon juice and a good pinch of sea salt and blended that up until it was really smooth and creamy like this. Around halfway through I did just turn the tofu over so it cooked evenly on both sides, then put it back in the oven for around another 10 minutes until it came out looking like this, nicely golden in colour and ever so slightly crispy on the edges. I sliced up a beef tomato. Heirloom tomato season is well and truly over, at least I haven't been able to find any recently, and that makes me sad. I lightly toasted a seeded bagel, and once done I then put some of the avocado spread on the top half of the bagel, layered up all of that tofu bacon. I really wanted this to be a thick, juicy sandwich. Place the tomato on top as well as some little gem lettuce. We're also growing basil indoors and have the biggest basil leaves, so I put a few of those in too, which makes for a nice extra. And of course, where there's basil, there's usually a Juno hanging around. Sharing is caring with these guys. Closed that up and sliced it in half, and I had that with some Eat Real lentil chips in the tomato and basil flavour. I love these. And I had a glass of my carrot, apple, ginger and lime juice as well. This is so good and exactly what I was craving. The tofu bacon is so flavoursome. As I said, if you can leave it longer to marinade, the better. The avocado spread makes for a healthier change to some vegan mayo, and I love the added flavour of the basil in this too. It was such a good sandwich. Made my afternoon matcha. Nothing new here. This is my everyday afternoon pick-me-up. I use Matcha Ninja's matcha. It's hard to find a matcha that doesn't lose its colour after a while, but this one is just such good quality. I have switched over to soy milk again, just for a bit of a change, so I warmed some of that through for this. I do then very untraditionally use my milk frother at the end to blend everything, and I had that with a Trek salted caramel protein flapjack. Then for dinner I made a harissa lentil and aubergine ragu. I have so many tomatoes to get through, so I picked some of those to go in this. We still have so many green tomatoes, which I know I'll end up using somehow, but still giving them the chance to ripen up. Look how many I managed to get, including these tiny baby ones. Then decided to roast them and add them into the sauce. They go so sweet once roasted. Gave the tomatoes a really good wash first, and then I spread them out on a baking tray, just removed any of the tops that were left, and then drizzled on some extra virgin olive oil and sprinkled some flaky sea salt over. Then pop those in the oven to roast, only for around 20 minutes or so. They didn't take too long. Meanwhile, I minced up an aubergine. I wanted this to be as fine of a mince as possible, so I just kept chopping and chopping until it was like this. I heated some oil in a pan, quite a good drizzle because I really wanted to fry off this aubergine well. I then added the aubergine in with a good pinch of sea salt and just kept turning it over on a medium to high heat until it had really cooked down and almost caramelized. I then added in a chopped white onion and grated in 3 cloves of garlic. I used a microplane so it almost becomes like a puree. Stirred those through and fried them off. I next added in a good heaped tablespoon of harissa paste, as well as a good squeeze of tomato puree, and again just fried those off as well. I took the cherry tomatoes out of the oven. These were nicely roasted and I added those into the pan. I then used my spatula to break them down to create more of a sauce. I drained and rinsed a can of lentils and added those into the pan along with 400 ml of vegetable stock, and seasoned well with lots of black pepper. It didn't really need any more salt, especially with the stock in there as well. Gave it a good stir and left it on a gentle simmer to then reduce down and become a much thicker sauce and more of a ragu. Put my pasta on to cook once the sauce had reduced right down. I used pappardelle for this, and once that was cooking I made a really quick salad. I have more chai flowers growing even this time of year. Does anyone know if this is normal? Because I always get some at the end of the summer, start of the autumn, as well as the spring. So I picked a couple of those and added them into the salad. Then drained off the pasta once it was done, added in all of the ragu, a spoonful at a time, and just turned it all through. And that was it. I added a load of fresh torn basil over the top because you can never have too much basil in my opinion. And we had this salad on the side. This was so good. I love a lentil ragu, and the added aubergine mince in this almost made it quite meaty, and it worked so great, as did the roasted cherry tomatoes, which gave a nice sweetness paired with the slightly spicy, really flavourful harissa, and it all just kind of hugs the pasta noodles, which is why I love our ragu with these really wide ribbons. Went in the garden for a little bit after dinner, got to get in those evening zoomies and then crash on the kitchen floor. I then finished my evening with a chamomile flower tea and a couple of squares of dark chocolate, and that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll write all of the recipes in the description box below for you, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!